This is a true story that happened recently and reflects the challenges of an ordinary family. Before continuing, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so as not to miss the next episodes of these exciting stories. In a quiet town, Mrs. Teresa made a welcoming gesture when addressing her daughter-in-law. "Come in, Marta. Make yourself at home and remember that you are a guest," she said, with a laugh that sounded almost conspiratorial. Beside her, her daughter Chiara stood watching the scene with a smile. Marta responded with a shy grimace and followed her husband, Luca, into their room. Luca closed the door behind them and hugged Marta. "Now, we are finally a family," he told her sweetly. The house was a constant coming and going. Every morning, Marta found herself navigating between Teresa's requests and the needs of a house always full of life. Breakfast was really complex, with different preferences that changed almost daily. Marta quickly learned to juggle pots and pans, trying to please everyone. The weather gave no respite between cleaning, laundry, and the 1,000 small daily repairs. The house required constant attention. Marta's trust in Luca grew stronger every day. "Don't sleep in tomorrow," Teresa advised her at dinner. "You'll help me make breakfast. We have a big family, you know." "Of course," Marta replied, holding back her sadness. Luca's family was actually large, 2 brothers and a sister. They visited the house daily with their children. The large house that Luca's father had built before he died offered enough space for everyone. As a result, Luca and Marta had no doubts about where to live after their marriage. "We'll live here for now," Luca told her. "There's plenty of room, and you won't be bored while I'm at work." Luca worked shifts at the village wood factory, 5 kilometers from home. The salary was enough to decide that Marta could dedicate herself to creating a welcoming and comfortable environment for their small family. This agreement found full support from Teresa, who used to say, "A wife's duty is to take care of the home." And so Marta worked hard every day within the home, certain of her mother-in-law's support. Her life, without her realizing it, became filled with commitments, preparing meals, cleaning, washing, and ironing. She devoted herself carefully to serving Luca's family without receiving help from her mother-in-law, Teresa. As the months passed, the tension built up. The constant pressure and incessant work undermined Marta's well-being, and she began to show signs of fatigue and stress. Luca, concerned about the changes in his wife, encouraged her to talk to him, but Marta simply denied any problem, claiming that she was just adjusting to her new life. One day, an accident at the factory forced Luca to return home unexpectedly. Happy to spend time with Marta, he bought a cake and a bottle of wine. However, he found the house strangely empty. "Where is Marta?" he asked Teresa nonchalantly. Teresa replied that she was probably at the river. There, Luke found Marta washing a mountain of laundry. The sight shocked him, and his heart sank at seeing his wife so tired. Shocked by the scene, he urged Marta to tell everything she had endured in silence. The revelations were a rush of pent-up emotions and tears. At that moment, she decided it was time to intervene. "You're not a servant. You're my wife," Luca said out loud, confronting Teresa during a dinner where the silence weighed like a millstone. Luca openly questioned family traditions, confronting his mother. "Mom, why do we have to stick to these old, meaningless duties? Marta is not here to serve us." Teresa, surprised and hurt by her son's audacity, responded firmly, defending traditions as pillars of their culture and family. This was just the beginning of a series of confrontations that would forever change the fabric of their coexistence. The confrontation became heated, with Luca insisting that Marta should no longer work so hard. Despite the consent of his mother and brothers, Luca remained firm in his decision. The result was a separation in the family. Luca, supporting his wife's rights and well-being, decided that they would live alone, separate from the rest of the family. With their decision made, Luca and Marta began to plan a life away from family oppression. Marta soon found a job in a library in the village where they moved, a quiet place that contrasted sharply with the chaos of Teresa's house. They found a small apartment near the library where Marta would work. As they planned their move, they excitedly discussed the details of their new home, from the color of the walls to the plants in their small garden. This new phase represented not just an escape, but a rebirth, a place where they could truly be themselves without external judgment or expectations. Over time, Luca and Marta built their family, giving birth to a daughter. One day, Teresa decided to visit Luca and Marta in their new apartment. With her heart in her hand, she began to speak while hugging Marta. "I've thought a lot about what happened," he said, his voice shaking. "I want to apologize. I realize that I put too much burden on Marta's shoulders, and I didn't respect your need to build an independent family." Teresa's tears were sincere, and Marta, moved, took her hand. "Thank you, Teresa," Marta replied softly. "Your apology means a lot to us." From that day on, Teresa committed to change. She began to visit Luca and Marta's house regularly, but with a different attitude. She transformed into an anxious and affectionate grandmother, always ready to cuddle her granddaughter and lend a hand when necessary without ever invading their space. Her presence became a source of joy and support, a sign of the positive change the family had experienced. This new phase represented not only a reconciliation, but also a new dawn for all. Luca and Marta were able to enjoy the serenity of their home, with the awareness of having found a balance that respected everyone's needs. And Teresa, now a loving grandmother, discovered a profound happiness in seeing her family thrive in harmony. Thus, their story became an example of how dialogue and love can overcome the barriers of traditions and create a brighter future for generations to come.